the Tim and Jenn Show.
Hello, welcome to the Tim and Jenn Show. My name is Tim Ryan, my amazing wife.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Jimenez Ryan. You looked really stiff right there.
I feel stiff.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Hi, you guys.
I got my look today.
Yeah,
my California look.
That's a badass look.
There it is.
Hi, Ricky, and we have our brother Ricky.
Yeah, round 2 for Ricky Quiles today. So excited to have you back on. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I felt very honored.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. So I'm just gonna say this. I have this brace on from here to here because my back's out. Like I feel like a robot. Like I'm moving around like this. Oh my God, talk about old age. A couple things. One, welcome to the new abnormal. People are talking about, Thanksgiving and not to do Thanksgiving. And there's a lot of people like fighting it and saying, I need to be with my family.
Well, what did they say about Thanksgiving? It's what?
Well, wait. So people are like been fighting about I've been seeing on social media. People are like, I want to, no one's going to tell me what to do. And yet you think about Thanksgiving, and I read this. Thanksgiving is the day that the most amount of fights happen with family, like of the whole entire year.
It's supposed to be the opposite. Actually.
Yeah, I know. I mean, so it's just like, it's so weird. Everyone's always like, I feel like everyone's debating everything and anything these days.
But what did Ricky say when we got here? What were you were talking the news? What did you say, Ricky?
For me, I think that the news, I'm not a big news guy. It's a very draining, it's a very emotionally, spiritually drainage, of one's mental. It's always about fighting, killing, murder.
Yeah.
It's all negative stuff, all negative, nothing positive. I don't want that stuff in my life. It's like I'm like the sunshine. I like to put sunshine on people's lives. And I don't want a black cloud hanging over me, raining hell and thunderstorm inside my spirit and soul. I don't get down like that.
Yeah, I love that because, I go in and out of I'll watch the news and I won't, watching everything that's going on. And all of a sudden I'm completely enthralled in this and living in fear. And I don't want to do that a lot. So it's so true. It does drain your spirit. I got to tell you the story though, you guys. And I forgot about it last week when I was talking about you and introducing you. I was thinking that day about all the times in my early sobriety when I met you and us hanging out. And I just got to say, I remember thinking I was super cool with you. We go
super cool.
I was like, oh my God. And I'm hanging out with Ricky and we're going and Mike Tyson and we're going to dinners. And I was like, I am the shit. And I just got to tell you, thank you for those moments. It was just such a cool moment. I'm hanging out with Ricky and Mike and we're all bonding. And it was just, it was a beautiful experience time and time again.
And it's still a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Now I get to hang out with your husband. I love you, man.
I love you too.
I feel very proud of being here with you guys. You're still cool. You're still beautiful.
Thank you.
You're still vibrant, and now you got a connection together as one. Now your vibrancy together is 10 times even more.
Oh,
so I'm blessed to be here.
Amen. Amen.
I do got to say, we've gotten so much response from last week's show. So many people really related. They thought it was the best show. You were so raw. You were so real. You even surprised me with the things that you were saying and talking about, things that I didn't even know about you. And I want to thank you for being so brave and talking about it. And about beautiful, I just finished talking to a girl that was very beautiful on your telephone. You want to talk about her?
Sure. My daughter, Ashley Quiles.
Yeah.
Rodriguez. Ashley, I love you.
Hi, Ashley.
And all the grandkids. And
wait, you're a grandfather?
I am.
What?
I know. Yes. I got beautiful grandchildren. I got my other son is 30, Ricky Jr. Quiles, and my son Julian Quiles, who
I met.
Yes, which Julian moved out of here literally probably when he was 14 years old, and I raised him by myself until he graduated school.
That's
amazing.
He
moved from Lorain, Ohio.
How old were you when you had your first child, Ricky?
Okay. I was 15 years old.
Wow.
And right now, for me, thinking about that, like saying I'm 15, I look at a 15-year-old kid, barely no hair, no facial hair, nothing. Little kid, I can't believe that I keep when I was 15. By the way, 1985, when Marisol Rodriguez, who's Marisol Mustafa right now, we're teenager lovers, and she got pregnant. I was the first one of all my friends to have a kid.
Wow.
And so what were you, a freshman in high school?
Yes, a freshman in high school.
Wow.
And all my friends laughed at me, and I chuckled, but inside it devastated me. Like I was afraid. I was a little kid having a kid, and I didn't know what was going to go on in my life. Needless to say, it was a very difficult journey for me as a 15-year-old kid, getting ready to have another kid, being in school, people talking about in school. We were the only ones that were pregnant. I wasn't pregnant, but she was, walking around with the big belly and stuff. It was a.
But you stuck by her side.
I did. And
so hold on, let's stop here. You came from a tumultuous situation growing up. It wasn't easy. There was abuse. There was,
chaos.
There was trauma, and you kept walking forward. And you did.
And then you get thrown in this world.
Yeah, and then you get in. Boxing was your savior, and you didn't even know it.
Right.
But you kept pursuing and doing the right things. I'm trying to think back to when I was 15. I was starting to do cocaine. I was experimenting with cocaine, and
15 too.
I was running a pizza restaurant for $6 an hour. I couldn't imagine having a kid. And I commend you because when you just FaceTime with your daughter, she loves you more than anything in the world.
And you lit up too.
And we lit up,
I used to think too, at that time, her mother, my daughter's mother, had very strict, old-fashioned Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? Her grandparents, her grandparents.
Latin families are like that.
Yeah, and Ernesto and Maria, who I love them to death. Ernesto passed out, I think, maybe 2 years ago. But they're my good friends now, and we love them. But at that time, I was 15 years old. They told me not to come to their fucking house. Don't you ever come over here? They kept my soul away from me.
Yeah.
So I went to Puerto Rico. So what I did was I was 15 years old. I got me a little tiny job to make some money to give to Ashley, for my daughter, and for Madi when she was pregnant. I would knock on the door at Mrs. Rodriguez and Mr. Rodriguez's home. In the rain and the snow, I'd be in the snow walking, because I lived about 3 blocks from them. And knock for Christmas, knock on the door. She opened up, "You're not allowed to be here." I gave the money, they threw it back in my face. They were angry at me because I got their daughter pregnant. And rightly so, they're old-fashioned Puerto Ricans. Again, right now, we're like this, we're like family.
But you look at it now, so many people have kids, they don't take care of them. Kids are having kids, and it's like a badge of honor, especially, and I don't want to say this wrong, but in the inner cities and where minorities are, and it's low income, because there is a thought. I can remember being in Cook County jails and in prisons, and there's a thought pattern that, I can remember a guy in Cook County jail bragging when he gets out in 6 months, he's going to have so much money on his link card. And they feel that the more kids they get, the more money they're going to get from the state. But it's horrific because there's no father figures around. And I commend you for always being a father figure to your kids.
Especially because you broke the cycle, though, because you come from not having your father present.
Right. And
you changed it.
Well, right now today, yes. But back then, I made a lot of dreadful, embarrassing mistakes. I did the same thing what my father did to us kids. I abandoned my children to a certain extent. I tried to be there, but then drinking, drugging, and partying, running the streets of Lorain, Ohio, on Pearl Avenue, 28 Oakwood Park, running the streets with my friends, drinking, drugging. there was times where the mothers would call me, are you going to pick up Ashley at a certain time at 6 p.m.? I'll be there. I stop and I get a couple of drinks, and then I go. By the time you know it, I'm doing cocaine and drinking, and it's 2 hours later, they're blowing up my phone, to come pick them up, and where are you at? And I made my mistakes. And me and my daughter didn't really start bonding together until she was more of a teenager. And I was in and out of her life through those years, which I made a tremendous amends to my daughter Ashley. She knows I love her, and my grandkids now. Like every time I go home, I spend all my dedicated time to my grandkids.
That's so beautiful.
And
How many grandkids you have?
I got one too many, baby.
Okay, to all Ricky's grandkids out there.
But the good thing is that my amends is just not verbally. It is me.
You're walking the talk.
I'm there spending time with my grandkids.
It's living amends. We just shot into Chicago for 24 hours to see my little 5-year-old daughter, Mackenzie, who adores me, but she adores Jennifer more than, she wants to hold Jenny's hand. She doesn't want to hold Dad's unless we're swinging her. But no, those are things we have to do.
Yeah.
But you live for your kids, You've been able to make amends to your kids. And I think that there's so much healing that comes to that. And there's a lot of families that don't have that opportunity to have their parents, if you grew up in an alcoholic home, have them making amends to you. As much as they may have loved you, there's a lot of people that still walk around with that burden and that scar of, my dad wasn't here, my mom wasn't here. But I see how you are with all your kids, and it's a blessing. I love how much you love your kids and little innocent Mackenzie.
Yeah, Max, Tanner, Abby, and
and it's an interesting role to be, a stepmom, and I love them unconditionally, and it's such an honor to watch them grow up. But you get your grandkids don't have to see you ever drunk or high.
No,
they've never known that. Mackenzie's
known
never known me to drink or do drugs. No concept of it. But anyhow,
that's amazing though. You're 15. You're thrown in this world of boxing. In this athletic industry.
Freshman in high school.
A freshman in high school, being a father and actually a responsible one, knocking on the doors, trying to give the money, and trying to fulfill your duty to the best of your ability, and yet trying to be a kid.
Yeah, it was a very difficult thing. I was very embarrassed. Just to add on to my troublehood years of young life, just to add an extra on top of that, to go through that emotionally.
So who were mentors or people that, whether they were boxers or people that through the phases of 15 to 25, 25 to 35, 35 to now, that you kind of have been role models or people that gave you guidance and direction? Do you have people like that?
No, to be honest with you, man, the one person that comes to my mind that's the light of my life is my stepfather's mother, my grandma. She took me in her home. I'm the oldest grandchild of all the grandkids, the oldest. My grandpa, my grandma, and they took me in, man, and they gave me nothing but love. My grandmother, there's not a person in this world that could do wrong without her saying you got to forgive them. You got to find the good in them. She taught me so much, even when she didn't know that she was teaching me. She taught me.
So is this where this comes from? Like your soul, like your way of being? Because there's so much love that does come from you. Like I was saying last week.
She's definitely a high percentage of me. That's me coming out. Me coming out from her,
I mean, you had a picture this morning on Instagram, I think, sitting in your chair here in the ring, but you were talking about being balanced spiritually. You're a very, very spiritual person.
Yeah, try to be correct. So for me, I think that everybody has their own religion, their own way of thinking of what God looks like or this looks like. That's fine. I have no problem with that. For me personally, I don't idolize statues. I don't idolize materialistic things. You know, I believe there's a higher power out there that's greater than myself, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. I do believe in Jesus Christ. It's kind of ironic that I got the shirt on with Jesus on it. But I do believe in Jesus. But, you know, like, I'm just that guy that wants to, like I said before, I mentioned this last time. I believe that love is the connection and the thread that connects us all. Kindness is the thread that connects all. And that's the way I want to live my life.
You kill people with kindness. And I'll go back to when I met you in the rooms, and I talk about the 12-step rooms, and I know that doesn't bother you. But not only the love and kindness you've given me, my wife, over the past 15 years, but I watch you. I constantly watch people, and that person that, you know, we're talking meetings with 200-300 people, and that person that's sitting in the back by themselves, you're over there talking to them. You're over there giving them a hug, not because you want people to see, because that's who you are. And we were talking about, you know, I wish there was more positive news out there and positive things, because with where we're at now and our backgrounds and all that, it's easy to get caught up in the negative. And even Jennifer, I won't talk about the situation, but she's like, you know, I'm going to extend an olive branch and offer a little kindness here. And it's tough to do that, because we can let all this other stuff rent space in our head, or we can talk about it or get empowered by other people to be like, you know what, we got to try to do the next right thing.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So wait, who tells you to get sober? Like, why do you get sober? When does that happen?
Yeah,
I mean,
what
obviously,
actually happened to get sober?
Did you get sober and stay sober the one time, or is it been
No, I've been, I got so, well, I try to do it by myself.
How'd that work? How'd that work out for you?
It didn't work out at all. You know? The thing is, like, I've been doing drugs and drinking since I was 14 years old. And it was a mechanism, and it was my medicine for me. And I try to stop for a day or 2, 3 days, the most, and then everything up. I feel good. I go back out there. But like I said, I think I mentioned this our last Tuesday, was that when I got in a Cherry, he was 21 years old, I was 35 years old, and everybody thought I was going to lose the fight and get knocked out. I was so scared of getting knocked out that I stopped drinking and drugging for 3 months for the first time since the age of 14 years old. And when I came out the boxing ring, I won the fight, became number 1 at 35 years old. I come out of the boxing ring and the beer comes, they pour beer on my head. I think I mentioned this too.
Yeah.
It swigged down, and I tasted it, and I was off on the road again for 3 days. So I went to Chicago. How I got sober was...
Oh, yeah,
Chicago. So I was in Chicago.
Chi-Town in the house.
Yes.
I know my brother's listening. He lives down in Old Town. He's probably a half a mile from where you got sober. Yeah.
Nice. So I got sober in Lincoln Park in Chicago. I went to rehab. And I've been sober ever since. Wow. But I went back to Florida because I was living in Florida, and within 1 month I ended up moving out to Los Angeles. I've come up on 16 years here. All my sobriety's been here in LA, which is the most phenomenal sobriety
you can't beat it.
in the entire world.
I know, you cannot beat it.
No.
I used to tell Tim, I'm like, just wait till we get to LA. Right. He's like, you in LA? And I'm like, just wait till we get to LA. He gets to LA, goes to meeting, he's like, holy crap.
The thing here, though, with LA, I mean, there's long-term recovery here. And what kind of freaked me out is some meetings, but like the La Cienega Park and some of these, you got to be 10 years sober just to be asked to be a speaker at this meeting. They don't mess around here. The men's meeting I would attend on Saturday morning until COVID. I mean, there's 200-300 guys there. I mean, it's hardcore recovery here.
But it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's like alive, the meetings.
It's like a party. It's like you're going to a party.
It's like you're going to the Oscars.
Yeah, you're going to a party. Here's the cool thing about Los Angeles. You go to a meeting, there's an old grandma. There's a poor guy. There's a rich man. There's a famous person here, a famous person here. It's a mixture of celebrities, of models, actors, poor people, young people, fat people, skinny people, you name it. It's everybody. Little kids, young kids, old people, young people. It's a mixture of everything.
And everybody
so you're surrounded by a mixture of all kinds of nationalities and people, and we're all there in the same umbrella for the same exact reason.
Yeah.
No one's better than nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're inside that meeting. That's why I fell in love with LA sobriety.
I love that you say that because, that's what I was taught by my sponsor, who like Teresa.
Yes,
and she would say, you hang your resume and your IQ at the door.
Sure.
And no one cares who you are. They're there and they love you and they really love you. And it's excitement and the speakers and it's just energetic. And I was taught, there's TNA meetings I call, tits and ass meetings, but I had to not go to those meetings, right? I had to go to
I
the
still go. I
serious
still go.
meetings. Yeah. And it's
I'm
fun,
not going to comment on that.
But
Yeah, Ricky and I are going to a men's meeting. Wink, wink.
Yeah, right.
But it's fun and you see everyone and you see them on the streets and everyone's hey, how are you?
The thing that you have to understand though too, people, you see a lot of A-list people, but they're just people, and you need to understand that when you hear some of these people in long 20, 30 years speaking and the pain and trials and tribulations they went through, and that they sponsor people still and have home groups and open their door and come on, let's go get food. And
your people are dry. If you couldn't, when I was newly sober, people would pick me up,
take
me to meetings, and take me back to treatment.
The recovery is phenomenal.
It is amazing.
It really-
I'll tell you something though. I'm just going to say this on a side note. On Sunday, Saturday morning. What means it's Sunday? Sunday morning, Tim gets up.
Oh, Sunday morning
at
when
6
we were in Naperville.
In Naperville, and he gets up at 6 in the morning.
Naperville, Illinois.
There's some snow, rain,
It's raining.
windy. He goes and he does a walk meeting with all these old timers.
my group
that have
of
40
people.
years is ready outside.
So we read from Bill's story, the third step prayer, the seventh step prayer, and we walk and talk. And it was probably
Crazy.
25 degrees, sleeting, rain, snow,
and wet.
And I was drenched, but rain, sleet, snow. We meet there every morning at 7:30 Sunday, and these guys have long-term recovery. And I was telling Jenn when I haven't done that meeting in a year because I haven't been back to time it, and it's just like yesterday. How's Jenn? How you doing? What's going on? And but I've known these guys 20 years.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's what the blessing about recovery is. And for the people that are listening here or thinking they might have an issue or walked away from it, give it a shot and get in the middle of the herd, because if you're in the center of the herd, you're not going to get picked off.
I think it's really important, though, to say this, too, because I get a lot of people asking me questions sometimes like, how do you handle this? Or how did you deal with this? And now you can talk so freely about it, certain different things that I've overcome. And, I really don't believe that everything's going to be cured once you get sober, the day you get sober, right?
God, no.
I'm 7 years sober at the time. I'm almost 15 years now, but I'm 7 years sober, and all of a sudden I have a flashback about a doctor sexually assaulting me. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm around all these people that happen to be therapists and doctors. I was in a safe place. I don't know what triggered that moment, but I was able to handle it because I disassociated from that. I'm 7 years sober. I've done a lot of internal work, like doctors after therapy, after EMDR, all this stuff. And that didn't come out till I was 7 years sober. And what I was taught was things don't come up until you're ready to handle them. Yeah. And God thinks that you're ready to handle them. So you handle them at that time.
And you have the foundation
You've had it.
to do it. Yeah, I've had things come up, and I started 6 months ago seeing a therapist, which has helped me tremendously because I've always had my 12-step community and close friends or mentors, but I need to talk to a therapist, and it's helped me, because ultimately I'm only as sick as my secrets. And even though my wife's in recovery and you are, sometimes you need that outside eyes to kind of look at things and the way my therapist, he takes me and I think I'm going to talk about this, and this son of a bitch spins me in a whole different direction, but it's awesome, man. Yeah. It's awesome.
I understand exactly what you're saying, Jenn, about in recovery, things come up, I've been sober coming up on 16 years. It is the number one thing that I did right in my life. Everything else I fucked up. The number one thing was to keep myself sober. It's the best thing I ever did for myself. It taught me to love me, to appreciate me. About maybe about a year and a half ago, and I'm a very private man. I don't go on my social media and talk about my personal life. You guys never see me arguing or fighting or this or that or saying negative things. Oh, I'm sick and this and this guy did this to me or this girl did this to me. I just don't get down that way. All my stuff is about health, fitness, love, and light. And so, and again, I would do this show regardless. I love you guys.
Right.
I thought that when we did it last Tuesday, I thought that it was going to be aired on your podcast that people on Facebook can jump on. I didn't know it was going to be on Facebook. So I
Still bait and switch.
Yes. So, but needless to say, again, I'm a very private man. But I'm very honored to be here with you guys. And I think that it's very important. About almost 2 years ago, I was having nightmares again. Bad nightmares. I would wake up sweaty and all that. When I was a kid, I was 8 years old. Mom and dad got divorced. There was things that transpired as a young kid. My mom did her thing, going out partying and whatnot. I'd be left in the house alone with me and my siblings, and I never talk about this because I'm a fighter. I made a living with these. I'm from South Lorain. I came out of nothing to make some of myself. I made a living with these. Traveled around the world, fought on TV, met all kind of people, doing this trafficking things that I never done or couldn't even fathom myself doing, and yet I had a secret. And even when I got sober, I didn't tell my sponsor at all. And I'm coming up on 16 years. So it was like almost 2 years ago. That was like 14 years. I never said nothing. And like I said, I was having these nightmares. When I was a kid, I got taken advantage of a neighbor, from a neighbor.
I'm so sorry.
And that hindered me emotionally, spiritually. I was so angry. But boxing, traveling, living the lifestyle, drinking and drugging, medicated myself from even thinking about that. And now that I've been sober, I had nothing to medicate my soul with. I have nothing to medicate my feelings with. I have nothing to medicate. So these things were bubbling up in my spirit. So I finally told my sponsor about it. And he said, and he told me about his story about on the same platform. And so he said, speak about it in meetings, and I spoke about it twice in 2 meetings when I was the main speaker. But
that's powerful.
You have to understand, it's not like you hit it. And even if you did a little bit, those are journeys to get you to where you have the foundation to talk. I had the same situation. I was molested by a babysitter when my parents were in Europe, and I stayed. It's a long story. I don't think my mom found out about it, and it was till she read my book or read my Wikipedia page. And I'll never forget her calling me so upset on why I didn't tell her. And I said, I actually forgot about it until I was in prison. And Perk and I were going through my step work, and that's when it just hit me like a ton of bricks because, what do you call it? Disassociation. And kind of blocked it out. But it's part of my journey. It's part of yours. And I commend you for talking about that. You want to say something?
Well, yeah. I commend you as well for talking about it. I think it's very brave. And I think it's so brave that we're sitting here. Like, I'm like, right before you started talking, I finished saying what I said, wow. I just said this out loud about the doctor because I normally say other people, or that I got sexually assaulted, but I've been sexually assaulted by other people as well. But I think that it's brave that 2 men and a woman can be sitting here right now and saying, oh, these things happen to me. Yep. Because there's somebody out there that's listening and these things happen to them. And it doesn't make us any lesser or better of a person. It just makes us strong. And it makes us say that we're survivors because there's so many people out there that I know that I've worked with and that I've seen come out and talk about this stuff, on a private level. Yeah. And there's freedom to that. There's freedom
Absolutely.
to be able to, and also there's that disassociation, and we medicate for other reasons, and we may disassociate from what's really happening, and then later on find out it comes out.
It just hits you in a dream or whatever. But the
it's
thing is,
in recovery though, that it happens. Like it's happened
Oh,
in
yeah.
my recovery, like you know.
but there's so many
Absolutely.
people too, Ricky and Jen, that hold that secret, and that's ultimately due to the shame, guilt, whatever they think it was their fault, it wasn't, that they go back out and use and they die, you know? And
Or they make the excuse of why I am the way I am.
yeah, they live. So one thing we talk about, all of us right here, we caused some crazy shit in our lives, but we had a lot of bad shit happen to us. And don't get me wrong, I had a great childhood to the best of it, you know. Well, I had great parents, you know, they loved us. Your parents loved you, your parents loved you. But for all the people that have had trauma, guess what? You're 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, 30 years out of it. You are the only person that is responsible to heal from that trauma. So quit living in the victim stance on something that happened 20, 30 years ago, that whether you were intoxicated, you weren't, you were a kid, it's your responsibility to get the help to heal from that trauma. And we can guide and direct you if you need help, but there's too many people that live in the victim and, oh, this happened to me and this happened to me. And well, do something about it. You know, it's like you telling me, Tim, you know, you want to lose some weight. Well, get your ass in the gym and start working out, or be the fat ass and shut the fuck up. You know, go eat another jelly donut.
I didn't say
He
that,
did not say that.
But I thought about it.
Yeah, what do you think? Said?
I said kind words.
Yep.
Love hearing it.
So wait, you come here to California, sunny California, and you're like, I'm in. Like, this is where I want my life to start, my new life to start.
Yeah, so I come to California because I once trained with the famous Freddie Roach, the boxing coach. He trained Miguel Cotto, trained Pacquiao, and so I was under his umbrella. I trained with him for several years towards the end of my career. So I fell in love with Los Angeles. I love LA. LA for me is the best city in the world. For me.
Me too.
It's expensive as hell.
Yeah.
But I love it. You know, palm trees, mountains, beaches. And, you know, coming where I come from, this is a luxury for me, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you follow Ricky on Instagram, because there's somewhere you go, and I won't leave Jen at home. You go up on these hikes, with these Buddhas.
That's my backyard, that one. And then there's another one. I go to different hikes. For me, when I do hiking, sometimes if I'm by myself, I jog the mountains.
What?
I'm a jogger. I'm a runner, and I jog
I can
all the way
barely
up.
walk.
I jog them up, but then I stop and I overlook the mountains, and it's a spiritual journey for me. It's when I connect with God, I talk with God. I get to sit by myself in silence and listen to the winds and look at the beautiful mountain terrains in the cities below me, and I get to realign my spirit, my soul. And
So do you, for the people that are listening, do you hear what he's saying? He takes the time to get his checks and balances. He realigns his spirit, his soul, his yin yang chi. Not many people take the time to do that. I gotta go, I gotta do this, I gotta do this.
It's hard for anyone to do that, right? That's what we all say, right? To take that time for ourselves, let alone in a city like LA or a big city that you live in. People are like, oh my God, I'm always going. If I'm not going, then I'm not enough, right? That's the world we live in. Like, if I'm not doing, you know, I'm a human doing instead of a human being.
Right.
Florida did that for me for 7 years. I would go on a date with God to the ocean. I mean, it healed me beyond anything. But I understand what you're talking about. And Tim and I, we were just talking to someone in South Carolina, and they were like, you know, sobriety for a lot of people is just this, you know, and you're living over your head above water.
Right.
And there's something much more deeper than that. And it's connecting your spirit, healing, aligning your spirit and what you're saying. And I was like, I need to get back to that, you know, and I've been waking up for a couple months now, and I go, thank you.
Yes.
And I start thanking everything for like 5-10 minutes. But the other day, after that, the day that we had that conversation, I was like, I am going to 15 minutes to an hour, just dedicate, wake up extra earlier and give myself that so I can be filled before I go out in the world and give it to anyone.
You can't help anyone, whether you're doing what we do or training or working with people. And I want to talk about some of the people you train. People see it. When I meet someone that's positive and they just radiate without saying a damn word. It's their aura, it's their energy. And I had to learn to quit being a people pleaser and say no and cut people out of my life that are just negative and suck. And I want to be around people like you. Yeah. I enjoy you. I enjoy your friend.
Again,
it is infectious. So when did you open this gym? Did you have one prior? Did you work?
Yeah, so what happened was, when I retired from boxing, I've been a professional fighter for 20 years.
Wow.
I've been boxing since I was 6 years old. It's the only thing I know to do in my life. The only thing that I felt that I was good at. So when I retired, I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know who I was. I've been a professional. Everybody knows me as a professional.
That was your identity.
Boxer.
Yeah.
When I didn't have that boxing attachment and being a professional boxer, after about 2 or 3 months, I kid you not, I got really depressed.
Yeah.
I got, who am I? Who's Ricky Quiles? Without the fight, the hoopla, the being out in the arenas in front of a lot of people, being on TV. Who am I? By myself, sitting by myself at home. And I just got sober, I think a year and a half to 2 years prior. And I got really depressed. And so I traveled, I got to learn to love myself. And for 3 years, I did nothing but live on some money that I made and surfing and just getting to re-love myself. And after the 3rd year, I got to do something. What am I going to do? I said, I'm going to go to a boxing gym. But I don't want to train professional fighters. I have no interest. I train regular people of all walks of life, fat, skinny, ugly, pretty, every nationality.
Where do I fit into the mix?
You're doing good. No, but and so I said, I just want to open up a gym, train people, man. And you come in my gym like a blank piece of paper. I think of myself like Michelangelo, the ancient Renaissance artist. I create artwork with my clients, and I get fulfillment out of that. It's a spiritual, physical fulfillment out of that. Makes me happy. See people train. A lady I train, a 75-year-old man trained. They used to box like this.
Oh, that's so cute.
Now they kick ass. Beast mode shit. And they walk out of my gym feeling confident, and that's what gets me. Giving away my talent, everything that I learned since I was a kid, I give away. That's what makes me feel happy. Now, we're going to switch gears real quick. I want to mention something. I didn't come on here to assassinate any family members or whatever. And, it was my dad grew up with no father in his life. He never met his dad in his life. I never met my grandfather. So he went through his own addiction, trials, and tribulations. Again, I was so angry, hurt. I was sad. There was times I didn't love my dad so much, but I was just hurt he didn't participate in my life. My dad died of alcohol and drugs at the age of 42 years old. 42 years old. And so I was home. I was living in San Diego, but I came home. And my brother Fabian kept on calling me. My brother Fabian, I have my brothers. I'm the oldest. Got my sister. My brother Fabian Quiles, Christian Quiles, Erica Quiles. Then I got my sister Maestro Davila, Anthony Davila, Dominic Davila, and Christopher Davila. There's 8 of us all together. So I'm home. My brother Fabian, the second oldest, keeps calling my phone. I think it was like 1:30, almost 2 o'clock at night. I answered it and said, Pop's in the hospital. He's not going to make it, Rick. I said, no, that motherfucker's going to make it. My dad's been shot with a shotgun, point blank, survives. My dad's been stabbed 3 times at a bar called the Puerto Rican home on 28th Street. That almost killed him. He survived. He's been ran over by cars. He survived. My dad's like the rubber band man, you know? And he ain't gonna die. He's gonna be fine. You know, then my brother, I hung up the phone, kept calling. Yeah, so I said, I'll go there. At this time, I wasn't speaking to my father. It's been about 1.5 years, almost 2 years.
Wow.
I didn't speak to my dad because I was angry and hurt. For a lot of things that he was not present in my life. And the way he was operating under the influence of alcohol and drugs. So with that being said, goddamn. Anyways, with that being said, I went to the hospital. I never spoke about this, but I was sitting down with my siblings, his sisters, I think his mom came. I vaguely can't remember, but my dad wanted to talk to me. He was in the room. They had these curtains. They made like a room. So the nurse came to me and said, my dad wanted to speak to me. He wanted to speak to me alone. And so I go and I sit down, and he has this oxygen mask on his face, and he takes it off, and he's speaking kind of fine. He said, I'm not going to make it tonight. I'm dying tonight. I looked at him and said, man, shut the fuck up. You're not going to die tonight. You're going to be fine. And I believed that with all my soul and spirit. He was going to be fine. And he goes, no, but I want to tell you this right now. I want to apologize to you for not being a father, for not being there for you as a father. And I said, it's okay, Dad, don't worry. I understand, because I'm so sorry for hurting you, hurting your mother, hurting your brothers and your sister, and not being a father in your life. And I want to apologize to your mom. And I never heard my dad say that. Can you call your mother to come and let me apologize to her? And you know, I made that phone call, and my mom, she couldn't come. She has a husband. She wants to respect the boundaries of the situation. And I gave my dad a hug, and this African American lady, her first day there, took my dad in the elevator, and he started coughing up blood. And he went into the room, and shortly after, he regurgitated a lot of blood from bleeding from alcoholism and drug addiction, and took his life. So, but he did make a verbal amends to me, and that was so powerful that I forgive my dad, and I have no ill will towards anyone, and it was a healing experience for me.
Geez, I don't think you've ever shared that anywhere, and I want to thank you, because when you started that, I know you didn't assassinate anyone during our 2 shows. You just talked about your journey, but how powerful that you're able to hop on a plane, go back to Ohio to see your father, for him to know he's dying and he wants to talk to you and he wants to make amends to you.
Well, I think what's even more powerful is another thing is your dad knew all along, but that you were able to forgive him and not have any ill will.
Amen.
Because again, it's forgiveness, it's love, it's, for you not to walk around with that is beautiful and freeing. And
I don't think I know what happened in that hospital room, Ricky, has also been another layer on your foundation to mold you into the kind, loving person you are today. And I thank your father for that. Wow. Well, on that note, we all need a box of fucking tissues here. Thanks, Ricky. 4-time world champion boxer gets us all tearing up here. But you know what? this is the reality of alcoholism, drug addiction, life.
And being honest.
And being honest.
And being honest.
And your dad died from this disease. And I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
I'm a little speechless.
I don't get, you know, my son died from this disease. I've been to 150 funerals. I quit going. But anytime you hear another person died, or, man, it's like all you had to do was put your hand up and ask for a little bit of help. All you had to do, I won't mention any names, but Jennifer had a pretty high profile person reach out to her on Twitter the other day. And it was from this individual. I'm going to be very cautious on how I say this. The individual saw a YouTube video of when Jennifer was on the doctor's TV show last year, and she had talked about when she had an Adderall addiction. Well, long story short, we talked to him, and he's getting help and going into rehab because of a video he saw, and then reached out to Jenn. That's just how this operates. Yeah. And I guarantee you, from you sharing this today, from whether people seeing this on Facebook or the podcast platforms, this will help people. Your message of hope and inspiration, that's what this is about. Absolutely. It's not easy all the time talking about this, but it's what we do.
Yes. And I'm just very honored, you know, that I have this amount of time of sobriety under my belt that I can help my friends, families. And a lot of people have reached out to me, and through Facebook, through social media, through another friend, people from back home in Lorain, Ohio, has called me and Facebooked me and said, "Can I please talk to you?" Sure. And we talk, and I haven't talked to this person in 30 years since high school or junior high, and talk about their addiction, and I try to do my best. And if anybody's out there struggling with alcohol and drugs, I'm your person, man. You can always Facebook me, any social media platforms, contact me. And I'm a very secretive human being. I'll keep it private and just goes between me and you, and I'll do my best to guide you in the right direction.
It's so beautiful. I mean, again, like, I'm kind of blown away by these two men right here sitting next to me and talking so openly about all this. And another thing, though, and I've been saying this for years, is it's so hard. If anything, I'd want to do more of a movement about los Latinos. They don't talk about, you know, alcoholism and drug addiction. Like, you know, a lot of times, you know, they're like, it's not happening in our home. You know, you turn the other face, and that's how we're brought up, most of us, you know. And to sit here and to know that you are in recovery, and you have recovered, and that you are constantly so open and kind, and you're talking about these important factors, because, you know, the way us, you know, have been brought up in the Latin world is that, you know, you can't do that. It's macho. It's not happening here. We don't talk about it. It's okay. You know, it's okay that Uncle Luis is like passed out with a, you know, needle in his arm. He's just passed out. You know what I mean? Like, he'll get back up later. Like, he'll be fine. We don't talk about it in the Latin community. You have me
thinking right now, when I got into heroin in Chicago, my drug dealer was a Puerto Rican who worked for the Chicago Water Department, but he was very high with the Maniac Latin Disciple Street Gang. And I was one of the only white people allowed and raised home with this family, with his 4 daughters. But I can remember going to parties and stuff, and we're walking in the room to shoot heroin and snorting cocaine and kilos of cocaine, and people coming over, but like the daughters are with their kids and this, and they didn't talk. They knew what the hell I'm doing, but I was like Uncle Tim to all them too. Right. And it was just, nobody talked about it. Yeah. But that's what they did, and that's how he made a living. But anyhow. I
mean, like, I'm really passionate about that. I have been for years. I just haven't really said much lately about it again. But I do want to say, right now, I think you're a movie star, aren't you?
No.
Oh,
yeah. What's going on, movie star?
I wish I had the movie star money. Shit. No. You know what?
Weren't you on set with your own trailer with like an Academy, all these Academy Award winners and nominations?
I got lucky. Here's the thing. You know, here in my boxing gym, I've been very fortunate that I just don't train regular people.
Sure.
You know, I train several celebrities. You know, I trained Shia LaBeouf, J.K. Simmons, David Arquette, Carmen Electra, I hung out with Will Smith in my gym here, Seal the singer, you name it. They've been in my gym here working out with me.
Amazing.
And J.K. Simmons is one of my good friends, big, phenomenal actor, Oscar-nominated actor, by the way. He's an Oscar winner. And one of my good friends, and he trains here. He's been training with me for the past 4 years.
He's ripped.
So, yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. And I got to know his family, hang out with them. And needless to say, he got me a part in this TV show. And I went, and I've been around movie sets and saw them doing their acting, but I never was involved in personally in it. They had my own trailer. It was big trailer.
Yeah, it was cool.
I had a fireplace, big Manchester TV, big living room, bathroom with a shower. Anyways, a lot of my friends that are actors, a lot of them are on TV shows and movies, called me up, dude, this is your first time and you got this big ass trailer? I didn't get a trailer like that. So I was very blessed. And I'm going to be on 2 episodes.
Who's in that show?
Oh, Billy Bob Thornton, who was married to Angelina Jolie, phenomenal actor, and Bruce Dern, old man, who's also Oscar winner and
Laura Dern.
Lorain Dern's father. So it was so dope, man.
And I get to start training here too.
I'm
so
so
excited.
excited. So wait, when do your shows come out and what's...
So right now, we did this, about a month and a half, no, about a month ago. A month and a half ago maybe. They're going to let me know when it's going to be airing.
We'll put it out there
episode.
too.
Yeah, it's called Goliath. And it's on Showtime, Goliath.
We just started watching
That's
that.
what we started watching.
Yes, Goliath.
We just drove by the hotel the other
Goliath
day.
with J.K. Simmons.
We just ate across. We ate lunch
He
in
hasn't come in
Santa
the show
Monica.
yet. We're on season 2.
Yes.
We love
You're
Goliath.
And Bruce Dern's on it.
Okay.
Oh, come
wow.
on.
Oh my God. I'm
That's
so
the
excited.
show.
Oh, Goliath. If you haven't watched Goliath,
It's good.
you've got to watch
Yeah.
it.
Showtime, baby.
Wow.
Hey,
Ricky,
Showtime. Ricky,
Showtime.
Showtime, quick.
Quick.
Quiles.
It's gonna be on Showtime.
A lot of people back home in Lorain, they'll go Quiles.
Quiles.
It's Quiles. Like
Quiles.
a Quiles.
Quiles.
Before we go or anything, like I want to say one more thing, dude. You know, I want to say to my kids, my daughter, Ashley Quiles Rodriguez, my son, Ricky Junior Quiles, and my son, Julian Quiles, which they're all older now. I already made my verbal amends. But, you know, I want you guys to know that I truly love you guys with all my heart. I made a lot of mistakes as a father. I abandoned you guys a lot in a lot of ways and made commitments and promises that I did not keep. Although I've been sober for almost 16 years, you know, I've been there with you guys all the time and got to spend a lot of quality time as a father. But for the childhood, the emptiness and the empty pockets throughout your childhood, that was because of me. I want to tell you guys in front of everybody in the world that I love you guys. I said I apologize for not being the man and not being in your life that way. And Ashley, I love you. Ricky, I love you. Julian, I love you.
Ricky, we love you. We love you.
We love you.
We
And we love you guys.
Yeah, we love you guys. We want to thank Ricky. We love you like a brother. Okay, we are going to wrap the show up. Again, if you need help out there, you can check us out at dope2hope.com or call 844-611-HOPE, 844-611-4673. Again, I'm Tim Ryan, my wife Jennifer. Ricky, we love you. We want to thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the Tim and Jen Show. We will see you next week. Signing out. Later.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. Thank you. We want to talk to you about Clean Cause, better caffeine. What's in the can? Our organic, sparkling Herba Mate is a premium pick-me-up that won't let you down. Every can of Clean Cause contains 160 milligrams of better caffeine, and each sip supports recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. 50% of the profits go to assist people into sober living. Check out cleancause.com.
Seaside Palm Beach is an executive luxury addiction treatment center located in Palm Beach, Florida. Our private clients come from all over the world, including business executives, professional athletes, celebrities, and more. Seaside Palm Beach offers first-class amenities and high-end accommodations, including a gourmet culinary experience, ocean views, pet-friendly facilities, and access to cell phones and laptops during your stay. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please call us at 877-959-5053. Again, that number is 877-959-5053.
It's here and it's now. Dr. Abe Malikan, board certified in addiction medicine, is bringing to you Elite Home Detox, where we can put together a rehab plan for you in the privacy and comfort of your own home. This is a concierge service. We have a medical staff come to your home and detox you exclusively. Check out our locations in California, New York, and Florida. EliteHomeDetox.com.
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevated sense of well-being. Supports muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, powerful liver support, energy, helps blood sugar regulation, superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.